headlines and stuff. So how do you?
All right, welcome to the post-market session here. It is Monday. We're just going to talk about the market, which sold off a little bit today. Q's down 65 basis points, IWM down 0.75%, and SPOO's basically just down to 40 cents. So not that big of a move. Some ICPT news came out about a drug after the close, so that's causing a little bit of a move up there. But so what do we got? We got Rambus. They just came out. Usually 405. Looks like 405 just passed, so Rambus is moving up. I think most of the names report tomorrow morning. Let's see what else came out here at 405. I think that's it. Let's see who else reports here after the close.
But at the end of the day, what I think it comes down to is this. When we have more
this is, so I put this earnings calendar in the earnings channel, earnings info channel. So we don't really have anything till tomorrow morning for NASDAQ. So we can get this out of here. For S&P,
we have too much money.
S&P reporting.
Of businesses not needing as much capital to build factories.
Who do we have here after the close? Just Whirlpool and Zion. So really a light, so not much to really go over. Everything's tomorrow morning, the 24th. You got, look at all these names that are reporting. I'm looking at here until we get to basically here. So we got this whole chunk of names. Sorry, I didn't look to see what we had going on. I thought we had a couple more names coming out. We have this whole block that's for tomorrow morning.
It's not really affecting the real economy, but it's taking off those assets from the market. It's almost like warehousing financial assets in the same way we would warehouse corn.
Here. And then let me go back to the NASDAQ.
The idea of having too much money.
And we've got nothing for NASDAQ. We have nothing. Tomorrow morning we've got a couple names.
So where the system has too much capital. But I want to suggest to you that this is
all right, so that's it. Yeah, I mean, just looks like it's Rambus, and that's it. Maybe the Whirlpool, a couple other names, but nothing really to kind of jump up and down. So I might as well just go over a little bit of a market analysis. Yeah, so finally we moved down. You know, this was exactly what I alluded to in the weekend newsletter. You know, we were really overbought with the S&P. Let's see where it got down to today. And it's kind of just an inside day. So we had this big Friday day. We're kind of back in the trend line. And it was an 80 RSI.
With the forward curves here between
and what is it
Germany
now?
and France and some of the
it's a 72, so a little bit better, and there's no technical damage done, I would say, for the you know, of course you're going to hear people on Twitter talking about, oh, we're going to start to roll over. We could start to roll over. IWM, there's no support that's really taken out here either. We went down, and the main when I start to see a little volatility, what I start to look at is the 1 hour bar. So this is, keep in mind, we could go lower and then come right back, but for tomorrow,
the length of the program and the size of the monthly amount. In the crisis, the monthly amount was more important, but now it seems
so 148.80 is the level to watch. Any reason for the spike of volume near the close?
Sequentially, they're going to finish the QE, and then they're going to raise interest rates.
Nothing specific. I don't think there's anything specific that, other than a little bit of worries about the same thing, like North Korea.
Talk about the ECB tapering is actually negative for the euro.
But they could change
more
their minds.
NK worries, I think.
Be deciding to buy fewer for a 9-month period and go, actually, the depo rate needs to raise here. Why are we making this automatic assumption that
US equity audio signing off.
will be,
but just the fact that we were very overbought and kind of in need of a down day. So as long as this 148.80 holds, Q's a little bit different. And again, if you look at the S&P, you can see we fell basically right to this 2562 level. So I'm just going to take this screen off here for a second and just put all equity news on here on Bloomberg. But yeah, we're kind of right into support. So we'll see if this holds. It doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, this is definitely going to hold, but it's funny how we get right to the top of value for the week, and we really didn't get into it. Qs, like I said, are a little bit different. I think the Qs broke.
Mark, what do you make
so they broke value. They could possibly have more downside ahead. I don't really see a ton of support here.
country on most people's
I don't see support
them
for the
electing
Qs
Eurosceptic,
until
populist. The
146.38.
issues in Catalonia not
So,
going away. It looks like it's going to be an
if
explosive
we
week
do happen to get
potentially
more
there.
volatility in the
The Italian
Qs, because
election
here I don't
early
really think
next
is a lot of
year in which
support,
both
maybe
the
the 20-day
five-star
moving
women
average.
and the Northern League appear to still be
It
doing
could
well.
really set up
It's
nicely
really
for
don't
some
forget
earnings
Brexit,
plays
Joe.
for both
Yeah, and
Amazon and
obviously all
Google
the
if they
ongoing
continue to
mess
sell
with
off
Brexit.
like they
But,
did
the economy seems to
today.
be
We
coming
kind of
back,
got
but
that
this stuff
clue
isn't
last
going
week in
away.
Amazon,
So a couple things about the
where
politics. One is it
we
seems
started to go
mostly
higher and
localized.
kind of turn the
But
corner
that's really
finally in
different from the beginning
Amazon.
of this year.
And
Think about where we were at the,
nope.
at the end of last
So
year. People said
we're kind of stuck in the middle of the value area, but you can see
populism,
big
nationalism in
red
Europe.
bar down
So last year,
1.7%
foreigners
today.
sold about $100 billion
Google also
worth of
down
European stocks.
big
That did not
today,
come to pass. If
down
you look at the chart
2%.
on
So
August
kind of
actually, April
faded.
24th,
Also,
Monday, and that was when it
different
became
areas
clear
on the
that Le Pen was
chart,
gonna
but
lose in France.
similar
The euro
type
gapped
of
higher, we haven't looked back. So in some ways, I would
rejections.
suggest you that Macron
Right?
came to
Amazon
the
was just
bottom
turning
for
the
the
corner.
euro.
Google
And
just
Merkel's
made a
election is
52-week
the kind of
high,
thing
and
that
then
tops
bam,
the euro.
a move
What we do
down.
now
So
with Catalonia,
what could
with
bring it out?
Brexit,
Of course,
with the Czech, with the
you know,
Austrian
a real
election,
strong
I
earnings
think all
report
these
could
things,
get
I
us
think,
going
point
again, but
to
that
a
remains to
high
be
level
seen.
of anti-election,
Microsoft, which has been really
anti-elite
strong, that also reports the same day. So a little bit of a topping formation here. Take a look at how overbought this is.
As opposed to like what you showed at the Venezuelan bond.
78 RSI on here, going into earnings a couple days from now. So that's it. You know, one area that concerns me a little bit because I do have a call spread on. You know, the XBI, not really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see this hold.
Where do you see the dollar going then?
But
Is that kind of strength
you
that
know,
you're
this is
talking
going to
about
take
gonna be a problem
place.
for EM, or
You know,
can it withstand it?
biotech
Or is
it's
it
really
that much strength?
moves down
Well, I think
pretty
the
heavily
reason
when there's a
EM's
little
under
bit of
pressure, Paul, is
volatility.
not because of the dollar
So it's
per
one
se,
of the
because
first
of
things
US
to kind of
interest rates
go.
and the prospect of Fed raising
And
rates.
you can
But in
see
short run, I
1,
think that
2,
you do
3,
have
4,
this. So where's the
5,
year
6,
gonna go? Well, I'm
7,
looking at
8,
a
9,
chart
10,
pattern. If we go through
11
about
bar
116.60,
red bars
which is
in
the
a
August
row.
lows,
Even
look
though
at
these
this earlier
are
this month,
these
right
kind of
around
held
there.
for a
We
while,
go
top
through
of
there,
value.
I think we get another 4
Again, I
cent
think this
down
group is really
still
getting
this year. So maybe call
oversold
it 112
after
and a
that
half,
many
113
down days.
this year.
But
And then we gotta
it's
really
got to
wait to
hold.
see what
You know,
happens next year. Do we get the
it's
tax
got to hold
reform?
one of these levels.
The
Next
emerging
area
market,
would
everybody I talk to,
probably
our
be down
clients,
here
who are like real money,
for
they still think that
biotech
that's the only way to
and
make money in the
healthcare,
markets
which
is
we
the
continue to see
carry
call
trade,
buying
which
in
means
all over
buying
the
high
place.
risk assets, high
Also
yielding
kind of
assets.
looks like a
And they
little
see a
toppy
pullback,
reversal
that's
bar
just
as
a new
well.
buying opportunity.
One area
So I
that
don't think
continues
that
to remain
psychology
strong,
can really
finished
be
up on the day, is the semiconductors.
Interesting
I don't
here.
really
Brown
get
figures
it. I don't
having a
understand
global head of currency
how these
stress
things are
rate.
managing to
Chandler
stay up
is
here so
sticking with us,
overbought.
coming up. Another
Even
taking
when we
us
have a
out for the
volatile
next
day, just
Fed
shows you
chair.
how strong
Taylor
this
Powell
group
is said
is
to be
right
favoured
now.
for the
But
position, but could President Trump's
you know, we'll
meeting
see.
with
We've
current
got a
Fed
couple
Chair
names that
Yellen
report
have
this week,
changed the odds.
and that could
He
change
did
pretty
say
quickly.
he likes her.
Just to kind of go over quickly
Really likes
the
her.
morning's
And we're going to get a decision very, very soon. So exciting.
the morning's
From New
option
York, this is
activity,
Bloomberg.
which I normally do in the videos. I don't have all the end of the day trades, but probably 3 or 4 areas where I would say were very interesting. One is in this Mondelez. I threw this trade on right at the end of the day, just very, very small. And the reason why is because it's a stinker of a position. They did these January 48 calls. So, you know, the first thing somebody looks at when they talk about this call volume is like, oh my God, 43,000 calls or contracts traded today. Keep in mind, look at the price. It's 18 cents. It's almost like a lotto. It's almost like a lotto. Why is it a lotto? Let's look at the chart in Mondelez.
Synergies based on mutual
First of all, it's in a horrible looking chart. It's in a major downtrend. The 50-day moving average has been your line in the sand. So look at the strike that they're going after. They're going after the 42 strike. Oops, that's not the one I'm looking at. 48 strike. And then I'll look at the other one. They also looks like they went after some November calls. But where's the 48 strike on the screen? It's not even on the screen. So you're going to hear a whole bunch of people on Twitter talk about, oh my God, there was 10 times the normal volume in. So what makes more sense to you guys? Let me just go over this for 2 seconds.
Together, we will anchor the economic
What is a better trade? When you see 5,000 call options that go up for $2,
With Interactive Brokers,
or when you see 50,000 contracts go up for 10
and
cents.
your idle balance earns high interest, or even more
Now,
by
the
lending
people
your
on
shares.
Twitter will say, "Oh my God, that's 20 times normal volume today in
With
Mondelez."
direct access to over
But
100 global
what's more
exchanges, you have the power to
substantial?
invest at lower
A
cost.
5,000 block
All
for
in
for
one account.
for
Transfer your
$2
confidence at ibkr.com/1world.
or 50,000 for 10 cents. I would take the first
One
one.
world, one account.
Because first of all, it's going to be closer to the money. They're looking for a big move. This tells me that they're either looking for a buyout to happen. Now, I don't know what the intent of that buyer is. Maybe there's a buyout coming from Mondelez. Maybe somebody's going to announce a big stake. Maybe there's an activist who's going to come in. Those are all things that can make that but let's be that get up to the 48 level. But let's be practical here. I mean, it's the probability is much lower that those are going to work. You are going to need, and the delta on these, what is an 8? Is 10. So for every dollar move, the options will move about 8 cents. Now that'll get closer. There's obviously there's a gamma effect there once it gets closer. But just keep that in mind, because there's a bunch of idiots on Twitter who will talk about how many times, how many multiples of volume that these calls traded today. But I mean, you could have said if they would have traded 100,000 at 2 cents, then it's, oh my God, it's 50 times normal volume today. So, sorry, I'm making a point because these are things that, people try to fool one another on Twitter about, So anyway, what made me take a very small shot in this is because they also came into the Novembers. They also bought the November 40s. The open interest was 7,000. They went over that. It's 13,000 of those. So that's, I didn't want to buy November, so what I did is I kind of cut the difference and I bought a little bit of the 43s. And again, I really do small size for things that are challenged, which I think this looks like. And then if you go further into the challenge group, what else saw calls? Teva calls. A lot of just crap names seeing big volume. Sorry, that's the best term I could kind of come up with. So this is really first of all, I would not be taking, personally, I would not be taking trades in all these names that are in downtrends. Maybe pick one for a lotto. The other one that we saw was THC, which is also in a downtrend. So, I think it would be way too much to try to play all these things that are in downtrends. That's just not my style.
The only thing I can think of that's newsworthy is
all right, so what else do we see?
much of a difference.
We saw another name that's below the 200-day moving average. XRT. Crap Monday. XRT below the 200-day moving average. So the majority of things that people went after, are all names in downtrends. CTSH, yeah, we saw a little bit of those. That one also could be associated with CTSH, nice upward trend. But we did see a little bit of those, but also could be an earnings play. So tricky. Oh wow, 11,000 of them. I know we saw some of them. Huh, no prints over 1,000. So that's pretty interesting. So they report on the 1st, so you have to keep in mind, you can play that name until... Oh yeah, C-Trip, yeah. But there's definitely CTSH, which I mentioned earlier. I think I found a couple aggressive small orders for that one.
Oh, Taylor's a hawk, and his rule calls
for
gigantic rate hikes, and the market's not ready for that. And
yeah, I don't know. One thing that you can kind of think about with all those names being bought in a downtrend is maybe people are thinking that some of the winners are going to be sold, and maybe people are looking for some names that are bargain basement names and some of the
important.
high
And also,
flyers,
level of interest
maybe
rates that
people are taking a
needed
little
now
bit of
that the
profits in
economy
at this
can
point.
withstand.
So
The
I
Fed
would
is
say
not
that
just
would be the
raising
theme
interest
of the
rates,
day.
but its balance sheet is shrinking.
The other theme of the day was all the healthcare buying, even though they didn't really react. I thought the Salesforce calls were interesting. We don't know when Salesforce reports. That's another thing.
Strong enough and pulling back when you don't have to. Remember,
So that's it.
Greenspan, the
We'll
last
end
time
it
we were in a
here.
cycle, Greenspan
I
was
apologize.
raising
I thought there was a
25
lot more
basis
names that
points
were
every meeting.
reporting earnings
We are
after the
far
bell,
from
but
that.
that's all
I don't
tomorrow
think
morning.
that
So we'll go
regardless
over
of who
those
is the
pre-market.
chair, I think
We
we'll
will
go
do
back
more
to that
sessions of these
aggressiveness.
when we do have
You mentioned
when we get to
Yellen
the
stays.
later
I
in the
mean,
week when
everything
we've got a
you
whole bunch of
said would
names
argue for Yellen
reporting
staying
after
because
the close.
It's not going to make that much of a difference. But we
All
know
right.
that for political
Let me know
reasons,
any
the president
questions
may want to
in
just
Slack,
signal a shift
and
here. Do you
if
think
not, have a
Janet
great
Yellen
night.
at
And I'll
this
see you guys
point
bright and
in
early
this
tomorrow
current
morning.
market is
Have a
a
good night,
hawk or
everybody.
dove?
See,